So back when when it was passed that we were going to build a new middle school, I had conversations with, just like all the teachers had conversations, particularly the specialists, with the designers, the architects, the firms, Georgia and Whittier, and they talked about the concept with me about this open concept. What was unfortunate about having one library is that that's like the one big space that students could have to go to, or a whole team would go to, or a whole grade. I mean, it'd be hard to fit a whole grade in there. And it's fine, I guess, but now we have so many spaces that huge groups can go to, or that a whole class can go to, or two classes can go to when there's a presenter. And it's opened up so many more opportunities for presentations. My classes are actually taught in a classroom as opposed to everybody walking in and out all day long, which I didn't mind, but that isn't necessarily useful to my classes either. So it actually is working out amazing. It's amazing to have this much space throughout the building that people can utilize. And I thought, well, I'm going to genreify. That's the new buzzword in library terms, is genreify the library, particularly the fiction section, to make it simpler for the children to find. And I would have done that if we had stayed for another 100 years at Gates. I was ready to do that. This was just a good transition time. So it was about deciding what my genres are going to be. And that kind of changed over, once we got in the building. Knowing that the 6th grade was going to come in, definitely I added a genre that maybe schools that have done this wouldn't have done it exactly the same way, but I call it middle grade favorites and classics. So we have books that, the 8th graders for the most part are kind of beyond there, although they're good. Wonder is going to be a part of that. Everybody can read that. In fact, a lot of teachers have read that this year. But they're also kind of fit into an area that might be a little bit more accessible to the 6th graders. And so that was kind of an easy, where am I going to put that? I'll put that in the 6th grade. That way they see that front and center. The high school students, the rising high school students, they said, well, put the realistic fiction here, like your John Green, the books that so many kids want to read, in this long shelf in the cafe so that everybody could just easily access that. And then because we had a lot of room, but not too much room left, we put our action adventure and our murder, mystery, suspense, because sometimes those flow into the realistic fiction too as well. This behind me actually started out as the kids had suggested, what about really popular reads? So we put a couple series there, but that actually got more confusing. So I had all of these Scituate books, Massachusetts history, all kinds of stuff, and I had all the Gates yearbooks, and it just seems like a natural place to put it, because here it is in a cafe area where teachers eat here at lunch here, kids are here before and after school, and during projects and stuff, and so it was just a really great place to put that, and so that actually came about later. From September to January, the circulation has increased by 5 times, or 500%, but 5 times. And I was talking with a couple of English teachers, and they think it's probably because they can see them. The books are everywhere. And I don't think it pigeonholes kids too into okay, I saw this section once and I'm only going to read that, I think it exposes kids to all kinds of different books that they might read. I think that it's more important than ever for a lot of reasons. The ability to research and find, let's say we're just talking fiction right now, and that's the #1 thing when you see without the library what kids would be checking out in middle school. Just having access is probably the #1 word, I would think. The ability to find things that you wouldn't normally find, the ability to check out things for free that you don't have to buy, even if you can afford them, but maybe if you can't. Having someone who's there to curate a collection, it's like a museum, but you get to be hands-on with that museum. You get to take things out. We're often worried about kids being good writers. Having been a high school English teacher, sometimes parents would ask me, well, how could I be a better writer? And it's well, you have to read. You have to be able to expose to all kinds of books.